All right, welcome in everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I can't get my lights on in the back. There we go. All right, there we go. All right, welcome in everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me put on my last light. I'll give you all a few seconds to come in. Today we're having a very short video. I have an appointment, so I can't be on for long. But I thought that today's topic was really important so shout out to Jada for posting this in the group behind the scenes. Today we're going to be talking about Jessica Pettway. I'm going to give a few moments for the broadcast to get up and running so that we can have a discussion about this, because even though I have stuff that I have to do and places that I have to go this morning, I couldn't let another moment pass by without us discussing this. Welcome in, welcome. I see a lot of people are coming in, so let's just go ahead and get live on all of the platforms. All right, we are live on Facebook. Okay. We are, oh, darn it. Let me turn this off. Confirm. Edit. Copy. Paste, enter. All right. Save, okay. All right, it's all live on Facebook. LinkedIn is not getting live because they have disconnected. We are live on Twitch. We're live on TikTok, and of course, we are live on YouTube. So welcome in, welcome. I'm your host, Tonya TKO, and today we're talking about Jessica Pettway. So let this be your inspiration to get a second opinion if you need one. Not even if you need one, just get a second opinion, period. Let today be your confirmation on that. If you were looking for confirmation, let today be your confirmation. Because, listen, health is wealth. Health is a gift. Health is not promised to any of us. And there are times where there are things that will come into our lives which are there as a lesson of expansion, a teaching lesson, a physical embodiment of things that need to be paid attention to and changed in our lives or healed from. Whatever the case may be, I cannot tell you why unwellness may have come into your life. We're going to listen to this story about Jessica Pettway. Yes, happy Saturday. Spring break started last night and I didn't even realize it. I submitted my midterm paper at 11:48 p.m. because I was going to write about something else. And it's funny that we're talking about this today, because my midterm paper was about the failure, the blind sight in modern medicine, and how we have gone full circle from having a spirit, mind, body approach to medicine to getting into the hubris of modern day doctors and how they have disconnected from the spirit, mind, body connection. And they feel that they are advanced, but the primitive methods actually had more efficacy in certain areas. Now, don't get me wrong. There is definitely a place and space for Western medicine and Eastern medicine. And I feel that we can have a collaborative approach. Today, we are talking about Jessica Pettway. I did not know who she was until this video. Let me see if I can get this to play. Oh, what's happening? Let me see.
This is Jessica Pettway. Jessica is a popular YouTube personality. Over the last decade, she's grown an adoring audience that followed her tutorials catering to natural hair, makeup, and fashion. In mid-July of last year, Jessica took to social media to share something different with her followers, something personal. It wasn't about beauty, but about health. She wrote, in part, on July 1st, 2022, At 4 a.m., my husband found me in the bathroom, unresponsive and not breathing. I was rushed to the hospital where they told me that the extreme blood loss was due to fibroids. My gyno made it seem like it was so normal and common. I didn't think much of it. However, I was passing clots the size of a placenta, which was really alarming. They kept me overnight and released me the next day. Fast forward to July 22nd, I was hospitalized again for the same thing. Again, the medical professionals treated it like it was not that alarming since it was just a fibroid. Jessica goes on to explain that the bleeding eventually stopped, but labor-like pains replaced it. She said her life became limited, but the doctors continue to brush it off as fibroids. After more hospital visits and temporary fixes, Jessica saw a female doctor who took her seriously.
Listen.
After undergoing a biopsy, she woke up from anesthesia to the news that she had stage 3 cervical cancer. She had been misdiagnosed the entire time. On March 11th, 8 months after she first sought medical help, Jessica Pettway died. She was 36 years old.
36.
Jessica's story is not an anomaly. It's statistically proven that women, especially black women, are often dismissed by medical professionals when expressing signs of pain and discomfort. According to a study released in January by BMJ, a peer-reviewed medical journal owned by British Medical Association, American women and racial and ethnic minorities are 20 to 30% more likely than white men are to experience a misdiagnosis. These statistics and the all too common stories like Jessica's are proof of the importance of a diverse medical field, having doctors of different races and ethnic backgrounds and doctors who are trained to consider diversity and racial disparities is literally of life and death importance. This is Jessica Pettway.
All right.
Jessica is a popular YouTube personality. Over the last decade, she's grown an adoring audience that followed her tutorials,
for those of you
catering to natural hair, makeup, and...
For those of you who have never heard of Jessica Pettway like I haven't, I'm not in the whole hair care and beauty space. Let me try to get my little beauty on this morning, my eyeliner, right? So I'm not in that space, so I'm not aware of her. If you're aware of who she is or was, go ahead and put up the number 1, right? So that I can see. Oh, wow. Q Sweets is saying this happened to her mom. Unbelievable. So listen, I want this video right here to serve as your confirmation to get a second opinion. Not like you needed anybody else's urging, or maybe you did. I don't know. If this video came right on time, put up the number 2 or a peace sign if you have the emojis or whatnot. Let me know, right? Tracy Braxton as well. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, my goodness gracious. All right. So, about 2 or 3 years ago, I switched out everyone on my medical team to be female. My primary care doctor is a black woman. My primary care doctor before her was like an Indian woman, like East Asian, right? And before that, my primary care doctor was a man. And even after I had told, and he was a black man too, even after I had told him what my goal was and what I was working towards, moments later, he said something to me that was completely contrary to what I just said to him. And I called him out on it. And he was like, no. Oh, my bad, type of stuff, type of energy, right? And I was like, no, unacceptable. And that's when I decided to switch him out. I had gone to another doctor, and that doctor was all doom and gloom. And I said, I switched him out. And I switched over my care team to be all female. And when I speak to them, they take what it is that I'm saying seriously. They treat me with care and kid gloves. Recently, I've had to see some specialists. For those of you who know, I got some stuff going on right now. I've spoken about it in other videos, but I don't want to keep doing health updates and all of that. So if you're behind the scenes, we talk more often in certain groups that I have behind the scenes, right? Okay, so City is saying this was confirmation for me as I prepare for surgery by two Black female surgeons. Oh, I feel you on that. I have had to learn that it's really about the specialty because I had a Black female surgeon that was not what I wasn't giving. It wasn't giving. And I had to switch her out. And when I switched her out, I decided to do a search for the best in the business. And the best in the business happens to be a male. So I set up an appointment with him. His surgical assistant came on the line. He was in class teaching. He didn't show up for the appointment. He told me that there's some other stuff going on for which I would need to see a specialist. And the specialist that he referred me to is one of his close pals in the industry that he would like to do a dual surgery with. And so I had an appointment with that guy this past week. And he was all doom and gloom and talking about carving me up and taking things out and switching this stuff around and seeing another specialist to carve stuff out and all of this. And I was like, I was distraught. As a matter of fact, part of the reason that I submitted my midterm paper last night is because after I saw this doctor, I decided to just do a complete 180 and switch my midterm all around. And I wrote my midterm about the blind spots in quote unquote modern medicine. How we've gone from, I look so pretty. Look at me. How we've gone from having a spirit, mind, body connection to healthcare, using the earth and natural remedies and treating the person as a whole, to getting into quote unquote modern medicine where we think that the human being is not the sum of its parts, that this is separate from that. I saw a video once that talked about the connection that our teeth have to other parts of our bodies, so that when we extract a tooth, it has an effect on other things. We think of the teeth as these hard things that are stable in the mouth, but our teeth move and dance around. They go up, they go down, they move left, they move right, they move, right? Our teeth are alive. And when we go to some of these people, right? When we go to some of these people, they treat us like we are just parts. Or it don't matter if you take this out or take. Listen, I had a friend who had gotten a hysterectomy. And once she got the hysterectomy, something switched in her head. She ended up with agoraphobia. She couldn't leave her house. All through the pandemic, she was stuck inside. For those of you who came to my old school Valentine's Day event and the New Year event that I had a few years ago, you met her. And now she's dead. Listen, take your health seriously and know that this is life or death. Get that second opinion. Ask questions in their office. Put them to task, because the way the insurance companies are doing it nowadays, you got 20-minute max, and 10 of those you spend in the doggone waiting room. Then when you get in there, they rush you through. You're just a number. Oh, that was too New York. Number. You're just a number. They rush through the appointment. They're not really attentive. They don't know your personal story. And it's really it's a toss-up. I have my acupuncture appointment today. And that's what I wrote about in my midterm. How many of us here are familiar with Eastern medicine? I'm not really that familiar. I was going to acupuncture merely because it's included in our health tuition. So some of the people from a neighboring college who are doing acupuncture. I don't want to say experiment on us students, but they get their clinical hours on us students. So I was just going for that. My acupuncturist happens to really believe in Chinese medicine, sent me to a place in Chinatown to get some herbs. And even though I didn't believe, I have been seeing results. I have been seeing results. Like, some of the issues that I've been suffering with have been eased and alleviated over the course of a couple of few weeks. You all know I'm having some kidney stuff going on. On the very first appointment, this woman touched my wrist area with two fingers pressed inside to feel the pulse. And before I could tell her what was that I had stuff going on with my kidney, she told me. Not only did she tell me, she told me the side. I was like, how did you know that? When my primary and I discovered it by chance, because I had requested some blood work, because this was, remember when I went and did my healing journey and all of that? So I wanted to see whether or not the stuff that I was doing, my juice fast and all of those things that I had done for my healing journey, I wanted to see whether or not that stuff was working. So I ordered a comprehensive blood panel workup, and I told her to get all these tests. And because she's a woman, she listened to me, she got the test, and she happened to catch some elevated levels that indicated, like, my creatinine levels were elevated. And she was like, look, let's get an ultrasound of your kidney. I would have not known. Listen, modern medicine has its place. However, why is there this violent bifurcation between between Eastern and Western? Why is there not some, what do you call it when people, a collaboration? Oh, wow. See, Jenny has had an issue. So this is what I'm saying. Where is the collaboration between the two modes of thought? Why is there one place thinks that they're better than the other, while the other place is humble and has humility? Let me show you all something that I think is just fascinating. Let me show you something. I wasn't planning on showing this, but why not? Why not? Why not? Look at this. This right here is where I went in Chinatown. So I went down there and I met with this Chinese guy in this little office with papers all around, stacks upon stacks of client folders and files and medical charts, right? And he listened to what it is I had going on, and he started writing all this stuff in Chinese. And then he sent me downstairs where they have a catalog of all of these herbs, floor to ceiling, herbs, roots, leaves. And he makes a special concoction for each person. He makes a special concoction for each person, right? To address individual needs. This is the apothecaries of old, the medicine men and women who used the earth. Listen, the earth to heal. Floor to ceiling catalog. The wall spans the entire space of the building. And they go around from drawer to drawer and they open it up. They get these herbs out here, these herbs out there, and they make your special concoction. And I have been seeing results with Eastern medicine. Now, you all know that I have, I don't know if we've talked about this or not. We probably haven't, but I have a nephrostomy tube in. I have a nephrostomy tube. And I mean, I'll show it to you now. Hold on. Hold on. Do you see that? It's a tube that comes around to the other side, and there's a bag attached to my leg to help my kidney drain out, right? And I need to get this repaired, and there's some other stuff going on, right? So if this were back in the days before MRIs, scans, ultrasounds, all of that, my kidney may have just failed on the inside. I would have become septic and died. So I'm not giving a complete and total, advocacy for going back to the ways of old. My question is, why isn't there collaboration? My second question to you is, what can you do to honor yourself, your unique journey, where it is that you are as a unique being? My acupuncturist, when I go in there, she looks at my tongue on the top, underneath. She feels for my pulse. She looks at the eyes, the whites, all of that. She checks out the way I am looking, talks to me about the way I'm feeling, talks to me about my stool and my bowel movements. Why? What is I don't know why. Listen, I'm telling you, I was just going to acupuncture because it's covered in the health costs for the school. That's it, right? And they ask all of these questions because all of this stuff is connected. The bowels are connected to how well you're doing. What your stools are like tells a story. Apparently, what your tongue looks like tells a story, whether your tongue is hairy or glassy, got splits and cracks and all of that. The color of it, the film on it, all of that tells a story. Oh, she's speaking. Even if the Eastern side wants to collaborate with the West is all about the money. Let me tell you, in my midterm, I talked about the Gateway files, which were classified by the CIA and declassified in the 1980s. They wanted to use the Gateway files. So let me just tell you real quickly, because I only have a few more minutes. They wanted to use the Gateway files to create soldiers that could push forward their consciousness to other places so that they could engage in espionage, reading papers behind enemy lines. So they wanted to create soldiers that could do espionage mentally and there's a Lieutenant Colonel William O'Donnell wrote a report about the Gateway files. Go look it up. There's also a Reddit. You heard it from me. Let this be your sign, because I happen to come across it coincidentally. You are supposedly able to go into other realms by use of hemisync, synchronizing the left and right hemispheres of the brain with a sort of binaural beat, which can transport you into other dimensions where you can astral travel, where you can project your consciousness, all of that. So they wanted to create super soldiers. There's a documentary on Netflix called How to Change Your Mind. And there's some other documentaries that I watched alongside of it in tandem that talk about psychedelics. The US government wanted to use DMT to create super soldiers, but when they got on the DMT, they went into a realm where they were talking to beings of higher consciousness. And when they came back out, they were unfit to serve as soldiers. Why? Because they saw something. And then after that, even though these people got into higher states of consciousness, the government then classified DMT as a Schedule 1 drug. Schedule 1 means that there's no medicinal purpose to it whatsoever. I read another book, Food of the Gods. Rewind this video if you need to get some of these book names again. Food of the Gods. It talks about, so I read Food of the Gods and another one. I forget the name of it right now, but it'll come to you when the time is right for you. Use this as your sign. In Food of the Gods, it talks about how psychedelics may be the missing link because something took us from early humanoids to the humans that we are today, with advanced level of speech, reason, rationale, awareness of self, decision-making, logic, all of that. Self-awareness, most importantly. They feel that psychedelics is what took us from early brain to the brain that we have now. You know how we have that monkey mind? Oh my gracious goodness. I need to get this thing queued up on my whatchamacallit so that we can have it on deck for the I can't find it. I want to tell them no, but I can't find it. I need to get it. Elle, can you remind me behind the scenes to get tell them no up on the deck, because it is spring break right now, so I do have the time to do that. Here it is.
Tell them no, 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 no. Tell them no, 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 no.
That's right. Tell them no. So nonetheless, right? So Food of the Gods talks about that connection. So nonetheless, the gateway tapes, DMT, psychedelics, natural medicine, the early shamans were female. Why are we caught in a system where they're talking about just cutting us up, experimenting on us, and doing things that don't treat the human being as a whole? Use this as your sign. Use this as your sign to get that second opinion, to take your life into your own hands, to take your life seriously. Do you want to be here and remain here on this earth for what it is that you came in for? If that is the case, get up. Get up. Get up. Do some Google searches, do some ChatGPT searches, and find the answers that you need. Go see other people. Don't worry about offending other folks. Don't worry about them. This is your life. Take it into your hands. I will see you all in the next video. Listen, thank you. Hey, listen. I will see you all in the next video. So listen, thank you all for coming out. Thank you. All right. Tell me what your self-love lesson is. I don't even have the time now because I have to run out. So, hey.